What was that game? So Elite Wolves versus Team Spirit. Team Spirit coming off the back of the win, carrying momentum through. Elite Wolves.
I think we're muted.
Are we?
I believe so. Everyone is. I see the chat saying silencer all global silencer and stuff. So I'm assuming that we're muted. So I'm just gonna look at the camera and smile until we need sound. Can you guys hear us?
Hi.
Just give us like a 1 or something when you can hear us, ladies and gentlemen.
A 2 if you can't.
They do hear us. We're unmuted now. Okay, good.
Not muted anymore. Wonderful. All right.
Cool.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I made a really, really funny joke that no one will ever be able to hear.
And now you can't
re-say it.
It
was really funny.
You can't re-say it either.
No, I can't. Because
it was really good.
The timing is lost. The moment is lost. But I was really, really funny for once in my life and not entirely cringeworthy at all.
It had to do with you, Rob.
Yeah. Ice and elements.
It's all right. Spirit versus E-Wolves. I'm pretty hyped for some Papita after yesterday, dude. Papita puck.
That's
I want some Papita puck. Hell yeah, dude.
Mr. I don't go 420.
No, he made it work though. I do have to say, like I even watched like a couple of plays from yesterday, and I was like, all right, this guy's the only reason he survived on some of those.
It's like we're not going to hold that high ground. There's no way we hold that high. Hey, we held that high ground.
We held that high ground for 20 minutes. I could have made like 10,000 gold, but no, they held it because he was like zipping around, and it was like impossible for them to catch him. They had a lot of space.
And I'm interested to see like how they function against Team Spirit though. Team Spirit, yeah. Who was it that was actually sitting up here before? I think it was actually one of the Peruvian casters. Or was it you that actually said like if Team Spirit win this? No, it was you. It was you. So you basically said if Team Spirit win their first game here in the lower bracket, they'll go through and win the entire thing.
Yep, I'm still kind of standing by that. Yeah, I think Alliance will put them. I think Alliance will. Alliance will probably it'll be like 3-1 Alliance or 3-2 Spirit.
Okay, remember Alliance still had the 1 game advantage.
Yeah.
So it's.
I think they have a good shot of just to go the whole way though, because now it's like these teams are definitely a lot lower than they are now. Infamous, I think, actually has like a pretty good standing versus Spirit. I would say, like overall with the way that they play when they're all on the same page. But in that last game, I felt like they were pretty disconnected. I wasn't crazy about the Marana pick either and stuff. Like the drive was a little bit weird. It was a little bit out of the ordinary.
Yeah, maybe you could also see it from a point of view where they were trying to throw Team Spirit off. It's like, well, you know what we're probably going to do, so let's just do something which is very in our comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping it's not the other mentality of, well, we already lost this, boys, so let's just have a little bit of fun, play nothing but comfort heroes, and we might be able to win. And we'll do something experimental. Like if that's the case, then you may as well like be coached by Fluff and stuff. Like.
No, it's true, but I don't know. I think Spirit will get better and better as this goes on too. Like now they're here, they woke up, first game already happened. They're the ones who are warmed up. Yeah. Everybody else needs to get warmed up afterwards. So they're gonna have a slight advantage for that one.
It's also gonna be this fun little thing as you go through the lower bracket where you can almost look at it like a best of 3. In the way that the previous game affects the next one.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well now CK is going to be fresh in your mind, Ancient Emperor is going to be fresh in your mind. Like, okay, how do we then play against these heroes? Do we ban them out in the early stages? The boys are sitting at the back watching those games. So now you've got to approach another draft where Team Spirit almost have a slight edge on you just because they had a draft which was probably going to concern you, because the CK was very concerning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the CK pick was terrifying. The Lifestealer playing versus CK is not fun unless you're ahead. If you're ahead, then you can actually do something versus it. But if you get behind it all, you're screwed. Yeah. The whole game just feels
and then you sit there going, oh, maybe I got an answer to this one. Like FNG commented himself when he saw the CK game we casted yesterday. He was like, oh, Lion. Great pickup against CK. Like, you can get rid of 2 illusions so quickly that this can be a great hero, and then you get Extract. You're like, okay, it's only a good hero when you have space that gets created against CK. So it's very, very problematic to say the least. So
CK is going to be one of those heroes that I think it's just going to be rising more and more from all the buffs that.
When we start looking to doing the predictions for TI7, it's like, okay, so what's going to be the most picked hero?
I think it depends. I mean, China is going to be picking a lot of CK. We saw LGD like dominating with it at MDL like earlier. Well, it was actually earlier today. It's like 7 hours ago.
Well, actually, yeah. Well, the game only ended like 2 hours ago because it went for the full best of 5.
Yeah, I just remember seeing like one of the clips of like the CK. Just like this Phantasm is so absurd. Your illusions are just so buff, and
I thought illusions were meant to be nerfed.
They were, but not enough for Phantasm. No, it's a really strong hero. But these two, I don't know. These two teams, this should be a pretty battle intensive. Like Elite Wolves is that type of team where they're just going to be fighting a lot. So
I'm wondering then how Team Spirit go against that. Like FNG was mentioning yesterday, like he's looking for better rotations out of his team, just better commitment to fights as well. Where like okay, if like and we saw the issue in game 1 today. You go for the initiation, the rest of your team's off doing something else. So the team is not perfectly synced yet. Like they don't think on the same lines that FNG is thinking, or they don't move together like that. So I'm wondering then how they approach their draft coming against Elite Wolves, who are going to be very heavy on the fight, very heavy on the rotation. Do you just shore up your lanes, run the 3 heavy core, and just get a little bit of deep push, a little bit of control?
I think similar to what they did before would be a nice approach. Like having that first 2 opener, having those 2 big team fighters and good like move, like rotating type hero just right off the bat, opens up your draft like, so much later on. You have like so many different picks. I think we actually have the teams being introduced pretty soon, right? I
believe that's what they should be doing now.
Yeah.
Like we have Team Spirit, who I know are probably very willing to play. I don't see anyone inside the boxes at the moment. So there shouldn't be any setup. I say that, and there's just someone chilling in the Elite Wolves booth. He's literally just like...
Yeah, I think they're going to be doing an introduction video right now.
And here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, Elite Wolves. I don't know if we get muted during this point. Either way.
We can talk over it.
Yeah, we can. Pepita, you asked for him.
Pepita played it. I didn't know him too well. I've seen him play a couple times. He played pretty damn well in that puck game. Leo Style also. He's been a guy that's been around for quite a while in the Peruvian scene at least, and they hold him at high regard. He's one of the better mid laners. Pretty consistent player overall. Stinger, good rotator. Kotaro, this guy was the Huskar spammer for a long time. Probably like he was one of the ones they brought it back like hardcore. He literally was playing Huskar like every game in pubs. He's also like a consistent. He's a very aggressive player. And then it's Masoko. This guy's good support rotator.
Elite Wolves.
And here it is. Elite Wolves coming to the stage.
They have quite a battle.
Yeah, they do. A lot to prove as well. Team Spirit, in my mind, are actually like more favorites coming into this matchup. So Elite Wolves, they have to try and fight hard in order to prove that what happened during the qualifier also is not something which should be referred to for a very long time to come.
Yeah.
Talking about TI qualifier.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Now we've got Spirit.
Yeah. Another team as well. CIS has been a bit of a rough scene ever since Virtus Pro basically took the cream of the crop and put it into one team. So Team Spirit, one of those teams that just hovers around the bottom of VP's coattails, trying to really prove they've got what it takes. They've got the strength in their lineup to fight through, an FNG, of course, being their captain.
I mean, they have a solid roster of like 5 very individually talented players.
Yeah. Vanskol, for me, used to be one of the greatest highlighted Rubiks of the CIS scene.
Yeah,
like,
he definitely was. Even like BZZ. BZZ's had a lot of like, regards. Like everybody knows him because the BZZ Pugna thing and BZZ Pugna said blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But this guy's been a pretty consistent carry for a long time. Iceberg is probably to me like the most mechanically strong player on this team though. Yeah. That guy's actually just a beast for quite a while.
See, I always look towards BZZ, because BZZ for me is like the unsung hero of every team he plays in. He's never the person you say, man, this guy was really, really amazing. Like you look at him play like Ramses, for example, and Ramses has moments of brilliance.
Explosive.
But, yeah, massively explosive. It always happens around that mid-game. And then in the early game, he's just Mr. Consistency. Like, he's the guy which you can't really stop CSing. He's the guy you can't really kill all the time, and if you do, you commit too many resources to do it. BZZ's the guy who's like 50 minutes into a game, wow, this guy's really powerful. And then the game is over. Yeah. Like that's the moment it seems to hit. So BZZ, I kind of feel, is like maybe one of the unsung heroes of the lineup. And it happened again, like in the last game. Yeah. Oh, BZZ seems to be powerful. The game is done. The game is over. We just need to hit one combination and we win.
It's kind of what we had the last game a bit.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a rising one, but Iceberg and BZZ both went off.
I'm looking forward to this series to get kicked off. So we just get Elite Wolves into the lobby, and then we'll start. Is there any heroes we look to see banned out in the first phase against both Elite Wolves as well as Team Spirit?
Probably the AA and the Puck are going to be the two big contested ones. I know both teams love the AA. I don't know how much Spirit actually likes the Puck, but I know Elite Wolves really do like it. They like it on Papita, and it's also that flex pick. You don't know exactly where it's going to go.
Maybe they'll ban it if like Team Spirit will ban it if they feel it goes against one of their cores.
Yeah, I think Spirit might actually just ban that one. They're probably going to. They probably don't know too much about them, honestly. Spirit's probably like.
Do you want a
crazy amount?
I will share a secret with you of how FNG did his bans in the group stage against teams he didn't know.
Why? He just looked it up.
He looked at what another team did against them earlier on and was just like, okay, I'm going to copy this exactly. So
that's what a lot of teams do.
I'm going to ban out IO and Puck and we're done. Yep. That's it.
Yep. And that's probably what we're going to see. We're going to see some like IO Puck ban, or we're going to see some AA Puck, or they take first pick AA or something. It's like AA is probably going to be the most contested one, I'll say. Yeah. At least in the first two picks.
I kind of want to see if that's going to be the case or not. Because if it's not, then hey, we get to have ourselves maybe more active and more controlling supports, which we haven't really had. Like, where's your aggression really come out? Like, Earth Spirit, I think, with Darkseer combination has been the most aggressive roaming support we've had.
Clockwork's.
Clockwork. But Clockwork for me always feels like this guy was like, okay, you know he's got to kill because he's got a perfect position on you. His rotation's just been on point. Or he zones you and stops the fight. So we want to have fun. We don't want to have Naga. We want to have fun.
Yeah,
that's what we want.
I mean, I'm glad to see Clockwork like ran like this though. Ran in the 4. Like I used to play it a bit like back a long time ago, like 3-4 years ago. We were practicing it on the 4 a lot actually. Yep. And we were like, this actually feels like pretty damn strong. And then since then, it's just been buffed like over and over again. The hero has gotten like so much more powerful, and like the idea of the hero, like everybody's gotten a lot smarter. So you go that 2 in battery assault build. And anybody you find with those boots, you're dead. They're dead. Yeah. If they don't have like creeps around them, they're actually just dead. Battery assault is way
So for everyone out there who wants to make like a fantastic pub career, just get 2 points up in battery assault, get boots first.
Yeah, and just roam.
And basically tell your team to buy all the wards.
Yep, you just run around and kill any lane because it's such an absurd amount of damage.
All right.
They're hyping up the crowd in case you guys are wondering. If you guys can probably hear them yelling a bit.
Yeah, there's more people. Like, it actually is really deceiving of how many people are here. You see the camera shot behind us with like a little small part of the seats, but this is actually it's a full round stage. Yeah. So we actually have even more people, I think, on the other side. Yeah. And we got 2 tier levels of it. And this place, I believe, fits about 6,000.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty big overall coliseum that they would call it. So.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, yesterday, I believe we had it was just under 50% full.
Yeah, it was almost 50%, right? Yeah, I mean that's pretty damn good, honestly.
Yeah. It just doesn't look as impressive on the camera when we have this camera shot. So
last night for the last series, I bet everybody was looking like, wait, there's more people now because everyone moved from all of the seats and they all sat behind us right here.
I believe it was the Peruvian Castle that actually got them all over. It's like, okay, guys, let's just pack this in. You do it like you do it with football stadiums, where you're like, okay, let's put all the fans of like one group in one area. Yep. Or basically just cram everyone together, and they do it because the production want full pitches. They want to have shots of everybody, and the venue looks full.
You don't want shots of empty seats.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you think ESL 1 Frankfurt isn't at the Commerzbank Arena anymore? You want empty seats. Like the only other emptiest event I've seen more than that was Star Ladder. So I'm in a shot-firing mood this morning.
Yeah, you are.
Don't ask me why.
You were. What else? You said something else?
It was the fluff and stuff.
You dropped the fluff and stuff? You said something else?
But
you said like
was,
3 or 4
that
things,
was because
actually,
of ESL 1 New York. Okay. I don't think you're going to really contest me on that one with ESL 1 New York, where Fluff and Stuff and IX Mike 88 when they're playing there, and like those boys just came in, and then you look at the drafts and you go, what the hell is that? Like, does that
I mean, we did the same thing at ESL, dude. When I was playing there, it was terrible.
Well,
we had the
better North America.
We had 3 stand-ins, dude. I literally was like,
be better.
I'm like, I have no players to come. All right, I'm messaging Bulba.
Hang on,
Bulba, you want to play a tournament? And he's like, sure.
What team did you play in?
I don't know. Did we even have a team name? I think we were still listed as Navi US. I think so.
So you were still NARV.
Yeah, it was me, Korok.
Stupid ass name.
And then it was literally just me and Korok, and we were like desperate because shit went down between the team basically, and everything like kind of departed at pretty bad terms with like me, Korok, Braxton, Thief, and afterwards, you know, we like rekindled like friendships and whatnot. But at that point, we were like, shit, we actually don't even have a roster, and we have this tournament in like 3 days. I messaged Bulba. I was just like, Bulba, can you come? And he was like, yeah, sure. I was like, oh, snaking? Way to get the boys together? I was like, I don't know what to do. I got no players. Like, I'm supposed to be going to the tournament in like 3 days. That was a nightmare. ESL 1 New York brings back nightmares.
Which one was that? That was the first one, right? The first one was definitely a very...
Computers didn't work.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
computers
that
were
was
broken.
who do we have? Is it a Lenovo or something like that? We were like one of the sponsors for it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a... And we basically had like a stack of 40 PCs out the back. So we had a whole bunch of them. But they were all as bad as each other.
They were all broken.
So you'd bring one in, you'd plug it in, and you'd be like, okay, we'll replace your PC because your one doesn't work. So take your time for someone to log in again and make sure like everything's updated, plug it in, off you go. And then it's like, nope, next one just broke. So we just like cycle computers in and out. That was one of the longest tournaments of my life. We didn't sleep at all during that event.
My monitor broke. They replaced the monitor. That one's broken. They replaced it again. The computer starts breaking. Replace the computer. Literally everything. Like the same computer broke like 6 times in like the span of 20 minutes, and they're like, "You'll be fine. Just play on it." And we're like, "It's literally like frozen. The screen is just blue. There's nothing we can do here." Good times. At least now we have lovely, better sponsors.
You remember the old days of Dota?
Yeah.
I remember when lightning actually struck an event I was at.
What was that?
That was SMM 2009, maybe 8, maybe 2008.
Where the hell was that?
I think it was a place called the Afamosa Resort in Malaysia, and it was the biggest Dota tournament at the time. SMM was the biggest thing you could go to, and there was huge tropical storms going on, massive tropical storms, and we were inside in this like. It was actually like a country and western themed kids park, and they took one of the halls inside of that and ran it. So like when you're done, you go outside and you go and ride the bull kind of thing.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. That's pretty cool.
It was hilarious and it was sort of quirky.
So we're hearing we actually have a remake, so we have to rejoin the lobby really quick.
Yeah, everyone DC, fantastic.
I saw them like trying to like indicate to us. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but something happened. Alright, so we gotta get right back in that lobby. Game is started though, so draft will be underway very shortly. You don't have to hear us.
Well, that's the reason.
Talk about Toby's stories.
I don't think production is actually caught up for what's happening as well because unless they've actually switched their screens as well.
I'm not sure. I can look at the stream really quick actually and see what we have open. I think it's just they still have the draft screen open for now, so it should cut out.
Okay, that works. Well. I'm in the new lobby, and so are most of the new players, and so are you. So, at least from this perspective, we'll see everything going on. And they've worked it out now. Okay, so so back to the story. So
back to Toby's.
So
one of Toby's many stories.
It was a wonderful event. I remember we had 3 of us commentating, and we had 2 other. Like there were volunteer people. It was back when I was still casting for GameStar, so 2 volunteer people came over to try and help us out with a couple of things. And we had one room with a double bed. So
3 people?
And 5 people sharing that room.
5 people?
5 people were sharing that room, and it was so hot we couldn't find water. All you could find was beer.
No.
So most of us went through that event very, very dehydrated or drunk.
The good old days.
It was very, very interesting.
Drunk casting has always been a...
So during one of the event, during one of the games, they would always have this little pit area, and you could watch the games going on because they'd have monitors mounted, and they had them mounted on these big, like you have like the industrial, like those big, what are they called? Like little like strut things, like you hold, like you put like lighting on.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those things.
The big like.
I know exactly struts.
No, there's another word for it.
Scaffolding.
It's like a scaffold. Yes, you're getting there. It's like scaffolding or...
but it's not.
It's not. No, it's...
Twitch chat. What the hell
Someone will get it. Someone will get it. It's like...
someone's going to tell us. But yeah, anyway, so they have like these monitors mounted on this stuff. So what happened was lightning hit the building. It hit the actual building. And I felt like this little surge like go through you. Like, like when lightning strikes really close, you feel the shock and then you get the tingle. And you're like, wow, okay. I'm electrified. And I'm like watching this game going on, and smoke like starts to appear out of the back of it, and you're there going
girder. I think that's the one. I think that's the word.
Is it girder?
Because I knew it was like a G and an R. I think that's what it is. I think so.
Okay, so it was on a Gurga.
Whatever.
And so you had the monitor there, and one would smoke. Like it just started to smoke in front of me. It's just the one I was watching, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one would happen. So you're seeing all these little smoke clouds coming up, and then boom, the lights drop. Everything goes out. All the power shuts off. Everything is dead.
Oh, no.
And you're like, oh my lord. But the funny thing is, there was no windows in this barn. It was pitch black, and it was full of Malaysian gamers and other, like all of the Dota gamers in there. And there were 2 levels. There were stairs. There was cables everywhere. There was booths everywhere.
No.
You had no idea where anything was, and it was completely pitch black dark. So what came out was almost Blair Witch Project of like phones coming up so you can see where you're walking around a little bit. But back then, like we're talking a while ago, you don't have like
That's a Razer. That's like a Razer flip phone.
Yeah, you don't even have like these huge ass phones that we have these days. What you'd have is these tiny little Nokia, little frickin' little like little LCD screens, such a tiny little thingies. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna try and see with this, and it was terrible. We had no idea. I ran into so many people, and then eventually the lights came back on again. And you know what? That was actually the tournament that for the Dream FTD 2009 played in, when we used to have remnants for Visage. Before they became familiars, and there were little things controlling all the runes.
Yeah, when you had
and the
like
Naga Siren, and the games would literally go for 2 hours every single time.
That sounds miserable.
It was
I will not watch
hilarious.
that one. I will not watch that one.
Absolutely. Well, there is no recordings for it because back then it was only audio casting. And our audio setup for that event was so terrible because the mic we brought broke. And we couldn't patch into the PA system that was there because the voltage was too high to stream out from our laptop that we brought with us. So what we had to do was we went down to the SteelSeries booth, cracked open one of the headsets, and took the mic out. And then dangled the mic in front of the PA system. So literally, you got this huge ass speaker sitting there with a mic dangling down in front of it, and this is plugged into our laptop, which is sitting next to like the mixing desk, which is doing the PA system, and it's streaming out in the Shoutcast plugin, whatever audio we possibly could. And people would sync this up, so they'd use like WAG TV and GTV. So they'd sync up the stream coming out from this with the audio stream, which was literally a SteelSeries microphone hanging in front. The audio was so distorted. It was so terrible. And ladies and gentlemen, that was hard times in esports. When an overlay doesn't work properly, when we get a little bit of feedback, that was nothing compared to what we used to break.
You guys just made Toby go on a 10-minute story about lightning hitting something. And we missed the whole draft. The draft's done.
We have not missed the entire draft. In fact,
Toby's
that story
transitioned
took
so long
into the next draft. But we're already in our round 3 of the lower bracket. Was that where you were going to go with that one, Fogged?
Maybe.
This is entertainment, bro. Entertainment. Shadow Shaman and SK. Hello, and Night Stalker from Team Spirit.
So we did get the ban, the
Yep.
Puck ban, Papita.
Yep.
No
Puck.
Papita Puck.
Puck as well as IO, so it's Elite Wolves that actually banned out the IO.
Yeah. Oh, back to what they were doing previously. They've done this a little bit before. They were picking Clockwork Jakiro in a couple of their games recently. Even at TI qualifiers, they were picking this like duo up. They really like playing with the Jakiro. Just opens up a lot of options for them to pick heroes that work well with it, be it like the Void or something like that.
Yeah. Also gives you that ability to push without and dive underneath towers as well.
Am I a little loud to you?
No, not at
I
all.
feel like I'm like kind of loud for myself. For a
You
second.
are perfect in my ears, Fogged.
Wow.
Absolutely perfect.
I don't think I've ever been perfect in my own ears.
That's, maybe you should get your ears checked.
It's a little bit better now. I had some like cracking. It was kind of weird. All right, we're good.
Well, I'm gooch. Hey, at least it's not a microphone and dangling in front of a speaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sand King, Shadow Shaman.
I'm interested to see the Clockwork
opener.
actually go through the first phase untouched. Like,
yeah.
Like you're willing to get the Shaman and the SK in. Like, Shaman and SK does ask a couple of questions, right? So you're wondering if this is going to be a 5 and a 4, or if we're talking about like a 3 and a 5. Like
more than likely more than likely this is the 4s and the 5s on the board for both teams.
You're assuming that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Then, well, yeah, for Team Spirit it makes a hell of a lot more sense. Unless someone's going to pick Templar Assassin in mid, and then, hey, who knows? Shakira can come back to the mid lane once more.
The few situations that Dragon Jakiro can work.
But it's just interesting to see, like, you bypass a hero like a Clockwork, who has been such a huge influence in all lane rotations, and makes me question like how Team Spirit approach this. If you assume Elite Wolves are going to go for an all-out team fight, the vision that Night Stalker is going to provide or remove gives them such a huge advantage. And then you're also forcing down buildings, potentially forcing side lanes. Never forget the BZZ Jakiro.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, that's a good
never
point.
forget the BZZ Jakiro. They like doing this. If they then say, okay, we're going to grab someone like a Bristleback with a little bit of extra sustain, then Team Spirit could just out-push and out-survive Elite Wolves.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I completely forgot that he plays it a decent amount actually for them. They pick like 2 different supports sometimes for them and put him on the Jakiro. All right.
So Broodmother is out.
They're probably looking at just recent games and seeing. They also are playing versus DK Phobos. That guy's a brute spammer.
He is.
You got to get rid of that hero.
And Shaman would have a nightmare of a time. We already saw like Shaman having an issue where he didn't have a front liner. Brood slips through the back with an awkward goodbye Shadow Shaman. You achieve what Iceberg was having to force with his Storm Spiriting in our first series of the day.
I'm wondering, I'm curious as why Spirit actually decided to go for the Night Stalker over the Clockwork this time around. Because every other game that they've actually played, they pick the Clockwork first, and then they go for the Jakiro afterwards. Maybe they want to try something else. They just feel more comfortable with this one. They actually didn't.
I think it's the vision game. It's got to be the vision game.
I think the Clockwork does help with that too. The Rockets are pretty impactful with all of it. Oh wow, they pick Enigma already.
Yeah, without either of the cores. Okay, so
third pick Enigma. That's like they're just putting it out there, dude. I mean, it's a best of one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to see Enigmas in our best of ones.
I'm never. Actually, that's not true. I am sometimes sad to see an Enigma, but it's like watching a Drone Ranger play against a Slark. There's just some things which you don't want to watch. It's too brutal.
Yeah.
But the Enigma pickup is an interesting choice. Like, there's enough clearance for it. Yep. Now you get the Faceless Void.
They always do this.
It's the easiest control. Like, you pick the Enigma up and you kind of want to keep it. I don't want to say a secret, but you at least want to understand that you can get a black hole off. BKB will not protect him against this Team Spirit lineup.
No, Chronosphere.
So then what do you turn this into? Shadow Shaman and Enigma pushing with conversions, Mass Serpent Wars, and you get a rushed mech on the Enigma. Get something more along those fronts. Even then, you have to break the silence with something, so you probably have to work into Greaves at some point in this game.
I think they'll probably still do the Arcane Boot, Midas, Blink, BKB stuff anyway. Unless they go for some all-in push thing. They just go for the Lina, for Leo style. First hero for Void to bring him down during that heavy disable that they have already from Senking and Shadow Shaman. Safe pick as well.
Do they do the unthinkable? Do they draw this?
For E-Wolves.
Yeah, like it's terrible against the Team Spirit lineup, but if they just go all in, if they go all push, you can just draw or Luna this and just try and force the issue.
Luna was the one that I was thinking, actually. Luna seems to fit pretty well with what they've got right now. They need a little bit more damage inside that.
It's a BZZ Jakiro. It's a BZZ Jakiro.
Yeah, BZZ Jakiro.
It has happened. To be honest, though, I kind of would have preferred it to have like a Bristleback in the hands of Team Spirit, as opposed to, but the Faceless Void is just a little too good. But it's the old way they used to run it back when BZZ was part of Team Empire.
Yeah.
And they would run this Bristleback off lane, and they would run that. So they would run an offensive tri lane, and run a Bristleback safe lane. And by doing so, they would just get up in the face of the safe lane, shut down the farm. The Bristleback would get so much farm, and then you rotate all the supports off the Bristleback's lane. If he just has a one-on-one melee matchup, he's beating down a tower. Everyone has to rotate to stop the Jakiro from liquid firing the tower in the bottom lane, and then you just bounce back and forth between the lanes. And there's no way for a team to go from one side of the map to the other and stop such a push. I don't think we're getting that in this game where you have such an aggressive kind of posturing, even with a Night Stalker, Rubik, and Jakiro. Shaman and SK may cause you some problems.
I'm not really like 100% liking Spirit's draft right now, though. Like, it's fine because now they have like multiple ways to deal with the Enigma, which is like your winner, but it still doesn't feel that great because they don't really have like great kind of like lockdown and team fight. They're pretty much right now completely reliant on this Void for their fight. Yeah, E-Wolves has a lot more liberty between their spell use. Like every single one of these 4 heroes are big team fighters or can contribute in a massive way to fights.
I don't know, with Rubik in the matchup, with so many great abilities to steal.
That's the one. Yeah, he does have some really good spells to steal. That's true.
He's gonna bring a lot of control to this, and I'm still interested to see if Elite Wolves can win their laning phase. It's So if they can't win their laning phase, then Spirit will start to walk over them, and they need like a nice scaling, like control hit. Like they ban out the Queen of Pain, thinking about the combination with the burst damage into the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
Like Invoker and DK are the first two I start to think of. That front liner, high ground sieger, which can kick in. Someone who doesn't really care as much about Midnight Pulse and everything else, which is being pumped out by Elite Wolves.
They've played Razor in this exact lineup as well.
Razor?
Literally exactly the same. Sand King, Jakiro, Void, Razor, Rubik. So they have played it before. And this is like a super similar, like TA and Razor and stuff. They've picked a lot in the past.
They just banned the Ursa. They're still debating it though. Like, I would have thought like if they would ban out the Ursa Warrior, because they've got to be worried about their last position here. Like, what's the counter? But there seems to be definitely a debate going on from FNG. Someone's not sold on the idea.
They go for Iceberg Mirana.
They will?
Yeah, they're going to go for the Iceberg Mirana. We were just talking about the last game that he has played in the past. Gives you some damage in the Chronosphere, but Mirana Core is not really always the strongest. So Iceberg, though, is the one who builds it into damage. He does not go the Agony Spirit.
Yeah.
I've seen him do the Dragon Lance met the Diffusal build, I think actually twice during the qualifier when he played it.
By the way, it was BZZ and FNG who were having more of the open debate about it.
Okay.
Cool. So
I couldn't see it from behind.
Maybe BZZ was worried about timing with Shakira. Like, how do you build into this one now?
This gives them more team fight, though. This makes them not have to worry, not have to be completely reliant on that Chronosphere. They at least have like Moonlight Shadow as well to set up.
Yeah. Their magical burst damage is actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, if Jakira gets something like a Veil of Discord early on to combine it with like his Dual Breath, then you've got the Starfall, then you've got the Fade Bolt, then you've got Night Stalker's damage. Like, it's...
Arrow in Chronosphere is also horrifying. You get chronoed for 5 seconds, then you get arrowed for 5 seconds. You're just like, I'm literally out of the game.
Ooh, a Venomancer.
You almost take the Veno. Nobody actually has ventured into the Venomancer here at this tournament except for Alliance.
Iceberg needs physical damage. I'm just saying, if this game goes late and Plague Worlds get up in the levels, Faceless Void. Actually, it's BZZ on the Faceless Void.
Void, and it's an offlane Night Stalker.
Okay.
So I think they've done this as well. I was looking through their matches actually just 2 minutes ago of the games they played at the international qualifiers, and they were putting BZZ on the Void a good amount of the times on that save lane.
Interesting. I kind of got a little bit too stuck in the past with the BZZ1 position. Shakira.
I still thought it was probably was a big possibility. I haven't seen Night Stalker running offlane too much. I think I only saw that like once or twice during the whole qualifiers too.
Yeah. But this definitely makes a lot more sense. Having Faceless Void with some damage, those Plague Wards won't be able to do anywhere near as much. The damage from the Venomancer is a lot more manageable with the Faceless Void. So Veno, Enigma, Shaman. You could say push, and I don't think the word would be like enough.
Yeah, they can definitely force towers quite heavily. And I don't know.
Everyone's gonna watch you stretch on stream.
Is it? Oh, we're back on camera.
Yeah, they always cut to us when we when we do this very start.
That's cool. I need to stretch. That felt amazing actually.
You gotta do. There's a non-cricketer in Australia called Merv Hughes, and what he would do is he'd go down to the edge of the line in front of the crowd, and he would stretch in front of everybody, and he would do it with like the big overarms, like swinging from side to side, and the entire crowd would do it along with him. Like, they would all go like left to right. It was the Merv stretch. Shout out to any Australians who are currently tuning in right now. G'day, mate.
we got Iceberg here. Ready? Viva la Peru. Look at that, man. He's happy.
Oh,
they're looking to get aggressive. Smoke breaks. Will they get the lift on?
Oh, he does! He actually reaches it, and it's the Lina. Light Striker Ray will end up sending on one, but with a dual breath down, they know there's no extra damage, there's no more help. And First Blood, Team Spirit.
Oh, they tried to give it to Iceberg, but the dot damage for Bensko, she ends up taking it, so not able to surge that.
Find supports of people too. That's going to pay for the Flying Courier, it's going to pay for your next wave of wards, it's going to pay for him to be aggressive against the offlaner.
I mean, if I'm the support, that's what I want.
That's the dream.
If you're playing like that, but you're the 5.
They're coming to try and contest the bottom rune.
And contest they will. That will not be. Yeah. That will not be had by Spirit.
Yeah, Iceberg will have to let it go. Night Stalker could cross over and try and grab the rune, but it's a little too dangerous. So it actually looks like for the moment it's going to be a 2-for-2 rune off. That's because Rubik was able to grab the other one. So FNG takes the top rune for the Radiant side. Everything's even, but they're the first runes. Like it's
Everything's even.
like
But
they're nowhere,
on
near
Lina.
as powerful as they used to be. Those first runes.
Death on Lina, and she skilled Light Strike Array level 1
Yeah.
to try to save her life, rather than having that Dragon Slave. Even though Dragon Slave got nerfed, so it's only 5 more damage. So.
But it stops it from pushing the lane, right? Like, isn't that the way the Lina kind of wins the lane? You force it back out to the tower, then it just bounces back your way.
Yeah, and we've seen people go like the 2-0-1 build. You kind of just like skip some because you're not really going for kills. You're just trying to get lanes and farm.
Oh, this lane actually looks so terrible for Phobos on the bot. Mid. Oh, this is all classic school, but difficulty is when FNG is throwing him into the arrow. The arrow stun time isn't as big. The Burrow Strike. Now it'll connect with the Light Strike Array. Heavy damage into Iceberg. Doesn't really want to take this much damage early on because he wants the bottle before the salve. Yeah, how is Nightstalker meant to run that bot lane? Shaman to harass him, and then you've also got the hunting Venomancer. If he goes for a 1-1 build, that may just be enough like Sting and Slow to kill him off.
He could get some farm with his like Void, but yeah, he can't stay down there for too long. I wouldn't put it past him if he gets an Iron Talon and just goes jungling. Mid lane, arrow again on Leo style. They lifted him up to the lane to tower
with the
range.
Fey Bolt damage is still not enough to leap forward. Iceberg, one more attack will do it, and he gets it off. Light Strike Array will connect, but thanks to FNG too, they take the Stinger with him. Oh boy. Laning phase issues in for Elite Wolves when this kind of stuff happens.
Definitely. I mean, this Lina is suffering super hard.
She just
all the way at the bottom net worth. She has died twice already, only 4 CS on her.
FNG. What is that? Phobos will die in the bottom lane. Enough time, and this was going to happen eventually.
If he stays down there, that's bound to happen. Like,
yep.
There's no way that you can survive well versus that unless they use their shackle earlier or something and you just TP out. Like that's probably like the only way that you can survive versus this dual lane if you get caught too far out.
It's just fun to see
Mid lane
this
again, Leo style.
Pick him up, throw him down. You're just keeping away. FNG, that's all he's trying to do is keep him away from the regeneration rune. So Iceberg, even if he wants, you can probably throw a rando arrow. Nope, doesn't want to. But the 2 wards of FNG means he can keep track of Enigma when he's farming up. And also, it's deeper, so Iceberg has all the vision in the mid lane to watch what's happening with the Lina.
Yeah.
So they're more focusing on the northern side of the map, not really giving a crap about what the Venomancer are going to do, because that is a little bit more predictable. Venomancer is going to push you when he hits a certain amount of levels.
Yeah, they're playing around the heroes that matter the most right now. The Void and the Miranda are the ones that are going to be the charge into the mid game. Nightstalker, he's fine. You know, actually, he's doing pretty damn well. He's forced to level 3 already.
Burrow Strike, Shackles as well. Venomancer will come in, hits the Gale, and Phobos once more will die. And, well, you wanted the Iron Talon from him. He bought it, and he will not be returning to this bottom lane. That'll be the last kill Elite Wolves get there until they force the pressure on the Tier 1 tower.
I was actually surprised when I saw him skill the second point in the Void, because I thought maybe there was a chance he goes like 2 points in the Hunter in the Knight, and then he just jungles with Iron Talon once the first Knight comes out, because it's only 30 seconds away. However, it's not that big of a deal. It's just, I mean, you want to have max Void as fast as possible.
God, Iceberg has trashed this lane.
Mid lane.
Pick up, grab down, quick staff fall with the Fade Bolt as well. They actually missed both the Burrow Strike and the Light Strike Array. Leaps available for Iceberg. He'll go up and over the hill. Doesn't want to go up there, however, not with the rotation in from Enigma. But you really don't care when a lot of the creep wave now doesn't go to the Lina. It's going to a Sand King as opposed to the Lina.
Oh, and for E-Wolves, Leo style is one of the big playmakers. It's actually like Leo style and Stinger are the 2 ones that tend to be the like driving force for his team into like the mid game where they're able to actually take team fights. But right now, they're just getting absolutely destroyed in this mid lane.
You did get the 2 points into Hunter of the Night, but that's also because even with the lack of farm and the deaths that happened to the Nightstalker on the offlane, he's still got levels. He's still got like he still didn't get fully zoned out by the Shadow Shaman.
He's higher levels than the Enigma. Like that's a testament in itself. He's died twice, but probably well worth it for getting those early levels. He might go down again though. Masoka's positioned on him bottom invis. They don't have quite enough damage just yet.
Team Spirit had more friends down here before. And TP support, is it going to come in? Oh, the Gale's going to connect. Phobos trying to get back to his Tier 1 tower. The creep wave is there. Observer may join us in a second. Phobos actually gets body blocked out. His top lane where Vanscore is trying to go for a chase through the Midnight Pulse to get the Liquid Fire out in the Enigma. barely on bottom lane. Phobos will tick out underneath the tier 2 tower.
Final tick.
It was the Gale and the Sting final tick that does bring him down.
Yeah, he tried to get like a nice juke and come out, but
Burrow Strike Stinger goes in after Iceberg. The Starfall's going to connect. He knew the second he did that he was dead. Unless he can get out of range of the Starfall, which is very difficult to do.
I think they need to stop going for these aggressive plays on the mid lane and just let Lina spam and farm it.
They smoke up and then they come out.
FNG is relentless to shut down Leo style in this game.
Did actually break the smoke, however, on Iceberg coming into the lane, so this may be enough of an indication that you're a little too deep in FNG. Well, okay.
Oh, he wanted to get that D ward, but Stinger eats the Sentry Ward.
They're trying to actually battle for it, and that Observer Ward, that's a fresh one as well that FNG did not want to lose. They give it to the Lina. She has to have something good.
Yeah. She's getting a little bit of farm now, catching back up to 30 CS. Nature of Lina, just be able to spam the wave nonstop.
Yep.
Phobos, 3 deaths.
Hello. Hastrun, Masoko. Running himself in, but does not get the shackles off. He was also a little bit too far away from any support. But he's definitely causing Team Spirit to check their lines. And while they're doing that, they're bringing more people down to bottom lane. So preempting the push from the Venomancer. Venomancer does now have the 3rd point up in his Plague Wards, but they pick up onto the Shadow Shaman. The Gale will connect nicely, but here comes more help. Iceberg's in the neighborhood. Starfall will fall down. The secondary one hits on top of Stinger. Not exactly who they want to try and get the kill on. It's the Venomancer who is the prime target. Stinger will still burn out. That Breathe Fire, the arrow, it'll fly through his dead corpse. Maybe could have saved that one as well for the Venomancer, retreating back to his tier 1 tower, low on mana. The pick up with Telekinesis, FNG throwing him back into a dual breath of Vanscore and the Liquid Fire. Shackles keeping FNG in the front lines, but now there's no stun. FNG can complete his TP out into safety. Also the reveal of the Veil of Discord on the Venomancer, but it's Team Spirit to get the upper hand in the fight.
Yeah, good rotations coming out. I thought maybe the Void might get involved, but then I clicked on his items and I saw what he's went for. Midas Void. Got it at around 6 minutes, 45 seconds.
Surprised I don't see a Battle Fury.
Long time ago.
There was an issue in the mid lane for Team Spirit. The fact that the Lina, again, still playing catch-up. Up to 46 CS now. Very close behind that of the Mirana. You mentioned her ability to spam, but it was her ability just to sit in the mid lane and not have to be involved. That's the bigger fun for her. Did some damage to the tier 1 tower.
That's like the fear factor of this Venomancer. Like Veno just puts so much pressure on your lanes that it forces reactions from Spirit and it opens up the other lanes a bit for his compadres.
Well, issues for FNG. Malphus just slowing him down, but he's just trying to be more of a nuisance than anything else, the Enigma. Enigma sitting at 2.4k net worth, 400 behind the Lina. Obviously, he's going to have more net worth of the Night Stalk.
It's one in from death. It's got a bottle on it. Does he have
he's running in. He just runs in. Take the damage. Goodbye, bottle.
They didn't move it. Oh,
no, they didn't.
And that's with Leo Styles' bottle, and that's a huge increase of gold for Spirit.
Lina was just playing catch up. All that CS we were talking about, all that net worth that she was grabbing is just like, I would say, evaporated if it wasn't trapped inside of a bottle.
Now they can just stay on the aggressive with Spirit. They're probably just going to avoid that. Actually, no. I was going to say they might avoid the Veno's lane and just let him take the tower, and if they get a trade, Chrono top should be able to bring down the Enigma, but he's fairly tanky. He turns to try to black hole, but doesn't need it.
Without the macro pie, they didn't have that extra bonus damage. Now is Vanscore in trouble. He should actually tick out to the Caustic Finale, or just the last one swing in from Stinger. So it was Team Spirit trying to be aggressive, and E-Wolves making them pay for it.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't get enough bashes inside the Chrono for the damage. They just didn't have enough damage in Chronosphere for this Enigma to get brought down.
Need more levels on Jakiro.
Like, he's good on levels, though. He's like level 5.
It's just getting the macro pyre. Time dilation. There's no mana. The Ice Path will connect. The Dual Breath will do its work. Stinger will go down, and Vanscore, even Liquid Fires. Liquid Fire does have a little bit of a bonus damage output, so I'm fairly certain that was trying to secure the kill to get towards his arcanes. More spam.
He had a nice little stack going on the right there. They've actually cleared a little bit of it.
Jakira's going to stay close to the lane.
Yep. Phobos is continuing to jungle. Level 7 now, up on the Night Stalker. Iceberg level 10, going for the Dragonlance.
Scan just pinged. The scan from Elite Wolves in the top lane just pinged. So they know there's more help. Moonlight Shadow's now being used. Down to the bottom lane is probably where we should turn our attention if they want to get closer, but they don't. I don't actually find anything with the Moonlight Shadow. They're just coming in and out of invis. This is Enigma's looking for the perfect black hole. They'll start with a Hex. Vanscore, nice Ice Path catches both of the Elite Wolves heroes. Stinger won't be able to get close enough. And that's why Vanscore has to babysit the Void in the early stages.
Yeah, there's so much disable on the side of E-Wolves, so having that one hero there to break the chain CC is pretty important.
Stinger. He burrow striked in to this.
Bottom lane.
Yep, underneath the tower.
Minos is able to claim the tower with Venomancer.
Don't know if it's really worth his life, however.
No, he was on a kill streak as well.
3 for 0 for him, not to mention all the levels he's managed to accrue on that bottom lane.
And he gave it to Iceberg too, who's like one of the strongest heroes on the map right now. Dragonlance already finished up.
And then Iceberg rotates in towards the middle lane, trying to battle against Leo. Leo does, she doesn't even have the mana. He can't even Laguna Blade. That speed, that damage, one more hit will do it. He'll go up towards the Dire Shrine, denying himself is the only option. And that's exactly what he does do. Now top lane, Chronosphere kicks in. Where's that follow-up? There's your Macro Pyre burst damage they won't have in the first place. Enigma walking into the middle, but FNG will throw him back into it with the Ice Path. They get all the control timing in the world from this. And now you can turn around and beat in to the Venomancer in an area where he never wanted to be. Can throw out the Nova, but having a hard time running away when FNG is hitting him with the Malefice stun. Everyone here from Team Spirit should still be able to survive.
Oh, they're crumbling super hard. Now it's Sand King getting gone on. Doesn't have mana for the stun just yet. Has 4 stick charges. Has enough now.
Oh, Burrow strikes under. Phobos has to get out of here. He flies up. He needs to get into the Fog of War and start his TP. And, well, actually, no, we can't even do that. There's no mana for it. So locked in with the Enigma. Didn't even actually have a TP scroll. But he gets what he wants. Kills, rotations, and it's away. And it's not Team Spirit taking more. It's not Elite Wolves taking more towers with this kind of shenanigans. Mass Serpent wards down, forcing the mid lane.
I'm seeing a lot of like individuals plays coming out from E-Wolves, but no like, still not seeing that like team decisions coming out. It's everybody doing like their own kind of little thing, and one person like making a move one place. I'm not seeing like a duo rotation coming out. Not the same from our Spirit. Like look at Spirit right now, how they're positioned. They've got 3 set up on top. Now we have 2 at least moving for E-Wolves, but do they have somebody actually TPing to kind of start the engagement? They're just walking up and running and starting the fight.
Burrow Strike going on the Faceless Void, but now your Ice Path, the Macro Pyre. Sand King just tried to mess with them, but the Dual Breath will tick him out. Vansco will find that one. And the tower, well, gets denied by the Venomancer. That was easy enough just because they committed a large amount of abilities there, Team Spirit. They don't have Chronosphere available. But how many heroes are up on top? From both sides now.
Spirit's all starting to collapse. This is that teamwork that we do love to see. E-Wolves, like Stinger he's 1 in 6, man. He's got double bracer build. He's like, all right, Blink's not happening for a while. I'm Sand King. I'm just gonna build tanky.
I remember the old saying like 3 braces means no hope.
Yeah.
So just like I need to survive.
Pretty much. And now FNG just stole Plague Wards, so...
Oh, boy.
That's going to be super nice for Spirit.
You know the crazy thing is, too? The Plague Wards carry the Poison Sting.
Yeah.
Arrow connects on the Venomancer, and now Phobos. Well, Silence, no way to get any kind of reaction out from that Venomancer. Phobos does it perfectly. But this now turns FNG into a pusher. He's got Arcane Boots and level 4 Plague Wards.
Yep. His farm should drastically increase, and then he can park himself in the lane for a while and just keep shoving it in while his team can make plays on the other sides. So that's going to be, yeah, it's just going to open up a lot of the map for Team Spirit. BZZ looking to go on bottom here. They do get the chrono.
Perfect timing as well with the Macro Pyre out. There's no support here for the Lina, and she will burn. Obviously not a real Targaryen.
They really like this combo, though. Like this Macro Pyre under chrono. 100 DPS is quite a lot, so
Oh, Power Strike. They need to hit Vanscore as well. They may try and commit the Black Hole, but not while Vanscore is still up. The Shackles are out, and Vanscore's waiting it. Time Walk up, BZZ repairs a lot of the damage. Time Dilation causing other problems for E-Wolves. They just don't know what they want to go on. They don't want to deal with the Ice Path of Vanscore because they can't get their long duration stuns off. But it's just enough. They can back out in decision.
Oh, God.
And while that happened, Venomancer died once more underneath the top tower with Iceberg claiming him.
And he had to use ulti. And Venomancer ult at early levels is, well,
he used ulti and didn't hit Iceberg?
No. He only clipped the Night Stalker with it. Night Stalker was quite healthy. He's pretty squishy now on Venomancer. He built for a hood to try to deal with that magic damage, but now there's a lot of right-click damage coming out from this Mirana.
I'm ashamed of you, FNG. A level 1 Gale is what he stole in replace of Plague Wards. I suppose his timer doesn't really last that long when it's just a level 1.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, the Shackles are out. They're trying to again bring down Faces Void, and Laguna Blade will be committed. A big kill for him, and now your Black Hole. You know, Jakiro is what Pepita wanted a long time ago, and finally, with the help of Leo, he's able to bring him down.
Dominating streak. So
that's a lot of money.
Good amount of gold going for Leo Style. Leo Style also went for Boots of Travel, Soul Ring into bots on the Lina. He had Arcane Boots like ready and queued up to go for that Bloodstone build. Still might go for the Bloodstone, but yeah, early bots to get involved with his team.
They got 1,500 gold for that one.
Yeah, we did say he's the playmaker on this team, Mr. Leo Style for the most part.
He's got the hero to do it with. As long as that Lina can keep moving around and fighting. I'm interested to see why he's got Arcane Boots queued up.
I think he just didn't switch his items from before.
Okay.
Because he had the brown boots before. So now this gives some space to Stinger. Stinger has the Atos queued up, but if he's able to just park himself in this top lane for a bit longer, he will be able to actually just get the Blink Dagger.
This is ballsy from Spirit. They've slipped themselves in. They're going for Roshan. Now, Faceless Void does not really do a hell of a lot of damage, especially when he's just minus Vlad's. But they're bringing in the help, and the arrow will connect. So they have the sustain to do this. It just takes them a while.
They have the sustain. And Jakiro is like one of the best heroes actually to do rush because he doesn't attack. He actually like doesn't attack almost at all when you're getting hit. And they also have the Vlads for that sustain, like you mentioned. So yeah, they're going to claim this one for free. Gives a little bit of space, like I was mentioning, to Stinger. Much needed space. He's at 1,400 gold. So 800 until that Blink Dagger. But yeah, 17-minute Aegis now for Team Spirit. And they're looking to keep their aggression going.
Yeah.
Iceberg now hits level 15, gets that 30 attack speed. Big peak timing is when he gets that level 20, when you get that 50 damage, because you'll probably get it at the same time as you get like an item, like a Manta Style or your Diffusal or something. So it's like that big power peak for Mirana. I hate using that.
They're trying to keep the Manta safe.
Yeah.
But thanks to the Observer Ward that's there, Kuri can play smart games. Iceberg grabs the double damage rune.
And look at Spirit's vision. FNG has done a really good job of keeping the wards up like this. He's been keeping them very deep just to watch the movements and the early rotations from E-Wolves.
Very efficient with this warning too. The fact he's managed to save a lot of money and they're giving him the top lane so he can finish up his Blink Dagger. And when Blink Dagger is on, Team Spirit's aggression then goes through the roof once more. But it's also funny because FNG's running almost exactly the same wards like in from the last game to this game.
Yeah.
Like that one ward he had to the northeast of the Radiant Shrine, and then the other one now in the lane.
Leo
They're going to find Leo Style inside the tree line. Light Strike Array. Ice Path, the Macropie don't connect. The Gale as well as the Veil. Also not being the greatest there from the Venomancer. So Team Spirit, forced rotation, then bail the hell out of there.
Slight like error there. You see FNG actually, he stole the Light Strike Array. So if he clicked him and he stole, he definitely had time to get the lift off. You know, that's just like...
Yeah.
So he probably just wanted, he got a little bit greedy probably. He wanted to use like all 3 spells while getting him. And if you look at FNG's build, I love that he went for, he only has 2 points in the lift, and now he's maxing the null field right afterwards. He's playing versus Venomancer and Lina and Senking.
Really good for his team.
Yeah.
The cheapest way to have yourself a pipe.
Yeah. Stinger mid lane, 400 gold from that Blink Dagger.
They're still trying to give the last hit to FNG.
Yeah. How do we have Babita doing? Babita is not going for the Blink this time around. He's just rushing the BKB on leading.
Oh, the arrow, it's going to connect. Light Strike Array can follow up from FNG, allowing Iceberg with his double damage rune to finish the job.
And that's only 2 heroes there. Oh my god, he almost just 3-shots the Shadow Shaman.
Blade, be careful. He doesn't actually have mana. What's this? This Lina's got nothing. It's boots and 1 null. into a Yule Scepter. There's not even a high mana pool. It's 867 mana pool for a 420 ultimate.
That is the one thing that you suffer when you go this like bots build. Your mana pool, you don't have the arcane boots for it, and you're not going to go for the Bloodstone. You said he's going to go for that Yule Scepter for that survivability and for that setup, but
I don't know how Lena functions with such a low mana pool.
But
And Iceberg, oh, that damage is high. At least getting the friends to come over.
That's still the DD, right? Yeah, okay, that was still the DD. I'm like, why is he hitting so hard? He's not even level 20 yet.
FNG's got his Blink Dagger. So
it's going to be so good for him to get good steals and positioning versus that Enigma and Sanking. He has like the dream. He can steal Sanking stun. If he gets Epicenter, it can be, or if he gets Black Hole, it can be amazing.
Well, speaking of it, they jump in. There's the Sand King stun. Arrow will fly in. 5-second stun on the Sand King. They pick off the Lena on the way back out again. She might have connected on an Alliance Strike Array, but it also baited Masoko into fighting, believing he had a chance against Iceberg. They're going to Moonlight Shadow and dive into the base. Where are your Shrines? Where is your Gale? Where's your Nova? It won't happen with the Chrono double Macro Pyre. It is sweet as sugar. Oh boy, Team Spirit Ultra kill for Iceberg. Oh, Elite Wolves may actually have their spirits crushed with that one.
They just got team wiped in their base when there's a tier 2 still up. Team Spirit just dove super hard for that one. And perfect.
For a moment, I thought we may have had like an SG Esports moment right there, but
no,
that's scary when they're so far ahead. They can do such a thing.
Yeah, Mirana with that Aegis just walks in, lets Void set up a perfect chrono. Even the stolen Burrow Strike from FNG, just everything playing into favor there.
Yeah, this is the perfect start to the day, especially if you're running into a very long day. They play their 2 series and they have themselves a quick break. As if they get the victory here. It ain't over just yet, but right now it looks like Team Spirit are definitely in a commanding position. A rod of Atos?
Did he complete the Atos?
Yeah,
he bought
did.
the full Atos on the Sanking. No. No.
You don't like it?
No, it's really not good.
It seems like it's a setup for almost Lena, who can't buy a Yule Scepter.
Yeah, but I mean, the double bracer, you can see what he wanted to do. He's like, all right, I'm dying. I may as well spend some of my gold so I don't lose as much. But the Atos, like, the point of this hero is that you can blink in, you get a stun, you reset.
Here they come. This is the last roll of the dice. They have to fight. The BKB is there for the Enigma. Shrine will go down. The TP does not complete, but did actually manage to bait out the arrow. But they're going on to the Night Stalker. They catch out in the meantime. Enigma, he'll never get his ulti off. Night Stalker takes to the hills, and far, far away he runs. Away from the arms of Elite Wolves. Leaping in deep up. That Venomancer, no way to run away from this. A double kill for BZZ. Stinger is able to Burrow Strike himself up and away. FNG, look for that Blink Dagger. Difficult when Corsair's going to pop on him. Tries to actually stay invis. Goes to the E, so FNG misses his Burrow Strike. But now there's no way to run away. Quick Burrow Strike, but they're right behind him. He's wasting time is what Stinger's able to do here.
He's tanky from the Atos. He's got some health.
You're looking on the bright side of life there.
FNG just all chatted him.
That's right. Stinger does it back. It's fun times.
Oh
Diffuser Blade freshly on Iceberg, and Leo is getting ripped apart. Enigma
now
with the BKB, but stolen! The Black Hole is stolen! He can return it, FNG! He's going to put it straight back down the throat of Elite Wolves. The Venomancer Nova, it'll be decent as well. It'll pop off, but 5 heroes down for Elite Wolves. The bottom tower will be taken. They get the godlike streak, 1,500 gold into the Venomancer for killing off the Mirana. But they've still got enough push power. In fact, they've still got kill power. FNG is just going ham. He'll sandstorm that one up as well. Goodbye, Stinger, and goodbye, bottom lane of Rax.
And soon goodbye, you Wolves. You want it when you're playing with the Venomancer in your lineup. You want to be the ones being that like aggressor. You know, you want to have Veno takes like the safe lane tower, then he moves toward top lane, and he's that presence that is super scary. In this game, it's literally just Spirit running at the face of the Veno, and they don't care. They're like, Veno ult? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Veno ult has not been doing like anything to them because
they got null Spirit and pipe.
Yeah, they've got no field, they've got pipe, they've got like all the resources, and they've been as a unit this whole time. Spirit is always running around as like 3 or 4 or 5 heroes. Ewolves are just, they're getting split up, and they just can't take fights. This one, that whole situation bottom was literally, it was a 1-by-1 death. It was like one death near the 2-2, then another one they get chasing, then it's like the other stragglers start coming and they get like the 3 or 4, and then it ends up being a full team wipe. Rather than them being set up as all 5 heroes.
And the flawless run of Iceberg. You should be ashamed, Iceberg. 1 death to his name after having 13 kills and 10 assists. 23 out of the 31 kills of Team Spirit, and that Mirana is getting involved in everything.
Yeah, I mean, Iceberg and FNG ripped this game apart. Just the 2 of them for the most part. I mean, there's been some beautiful chronos from BZZ with Vanscore's macro pyres, but the tempo setting was definitely from this Mirana and from the Rubik in the mid
They actually
lane.
have exactly the same amount of involvement in kills.
Yeah.
Like kills and assists. Obviously, it's a lot more swing to assists when it comes to the Venom to the Rubik with 3-0-20 on him.
Yeah.
But Team Spirit now just have to be systematic. You've got the bottom lane, well, most of it. What's the critical part of it? Take out the top shrine and then force in through the top lane. Find the good fight you want.
Iceberg's about to be level 20 now. Small crit finished, that defusal, that Manta, so his damage is going to go through the roof once he gets that level 20. Going to be sitting at like 200 and... actually like 300 damage, plus a small crit.
And Venomancer's going to be really careful to keep his distance away from the Rubik. If he gives Plague Wards, he gives Team Spirit the ability to actually form a perimeter around the base. It seems to be the stupidest thing, but there's very few people that are able to deal with it from Elite Wolves.
Yeah, Lena can try to hit them. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, the second she does that, she gets initiated on and dies. And then it becomes a slow siege. Iceberg.
On the prowl.
Yeah, he's looking for a kill. Oh, we actually managed to find it. The Venomancer getting stunned up. Well, we get to watch it in perspective mode. Up the hill and then run away. He didn't drop as low.
The fact that nobody on E-Wolves even like tries to go for this Mirana when he's doing that, they're all just standing in their base watching him. That shows like they're horrified and they're so scared in this game.
They're probably assuming the rest of Team Spirit are right behind them.
They have no vision on the map. They have no information whatsoever. They were trying to get some information with Babita split pushing bottom on the Enigma, but yeah, they're just being completely suffocated now at this point. They're just actually sitting in their base. I'm trying to think of ways to kind of like get them back in, but they need to just wait for a Spirit to take fights because they don't really want to fight outside their base. They don't really have anything they can gain because the lanes aren't being pushed out by them.
Well, at least the Enigma's getting enough farm that he might be able to get that Blink Dagger up soon. So then you'll have his big ultimate in the team fight.
But there's always going to be this Rubik.
Yeah.
Like, FNG is going to wait in the back lines to try to steal that black hole. And then they also have the Chronosphere to worry about. Just those two, when there's more than one resource that could BKB piercing, like disable in a way, versus that Enigma black hole, it's really tough to play it. Now they go for the Roche. It's going to die super fast with that Solar Crescent, with that new damage on Mirana and with that damage on Void. And do they have a Dominator? Oh, they do have a Dominator.
Yeah.
Vanscore bought one. He's got an Alpha Wolf too. I was like, oh wow, they have a lot of damage.
Plus 183 on the Mirana.
Yeah.
Not too shabby at all. And now they put the Aegis Immortal into her hands, so Iceberg can continue to be very over-aggressive. And they're coming down the mid.
Let the siege begin. Let the Veno ward planting begin on the high ground. But I don't know if it's going to be nearly enough for them to try to thwart Spirit's push.
And build a wall and make Team Spirit pay for it. Unfortunately for them, oh no. Oh, it hit the Veno. It's like, wait. I'm not meant to get hit by this. That's not in the script. So Night Stalker pushes in the top lane. Shadow Shaman trying to force out the bottom lane. He's not even here. They're trying to get Shaman some levels, some monies, well, something.
They're losing this tower though. Instead.
Yep.
And they didn't have to commit like at all for this. They're gonna just jump explosively though any second now.
They Gale, they Light Strike a rate. Look how much the Jakiro doesn't give a crap. Vanscore just stands there.
I mean, there's no initiator on the side of E-Wolves. They don't have the blink on the Sanking. He has an Atos. So this is just them watching themselves lose their racks. Because they have no way of really starting the fight.
Oh, there's your Chronosphere. That's one way they can start. Light Strike Array stolen. It just helps to do the damage to kill off the Lena with the Macro Power and Ice Path. They already had more than enough damage anyway. Iceberg with the Diffuser Blade, keeping the Venomancer under control, but they're taking the mid-racks. They've got double buybacks. Team Spirit, now all they have to do is get their Mirana out safely and keep the Aegis Immortal to go for another push. If not, they turn around and go for their own fight. Under Mass Open Walls, maybe not the best idea, but the epicenter is there, but the damage from Stinger It's hitting with kittens at the moment, almost no damage whatsoever. Nice Stalker will join the fray, right on top of the Venomancer, make him go disco with the all-Neuro effect, and this game is over. Team Spirit are ripping apart Elite Wolves base, and they're beating into the Tier 4 towers. They know there is no more bite in this Elite Wolves lineup. They even actually get the Enigma.
He just goes into the fountain and kills him.
Send a message. They want the GG call out. Felina dies here as a guaranteed. 49 seconds on the sideline. They will lose the Fortress, and there it is. GG, well played. Elite Wolves will be eliminated by Team Spirit, who continue their rampage through the lower bracket. First Infamous, then Elite Wolves.
They played pretty damn well, but I think this was like a complete outclass this time. It was E-Wolves unable to really respond to any of the aggression from Team Spirit from minute 1. That Rubik, that Mirana starting minute, Stinger tries to come help, but they ended up just giving more. They ended up giving like constant kills to this Mirana. Iceberg goes out of control, FNG as well, making moves all over the map. This game, FNG had some very nice rotations.
That he did. It was nice to see him on a hero like that too. Like you maybe questioned a little bit because we didn't get the clockwork in the first phase. Like, would we actually have the same kind of influence for the movements? We were expecting Elite Wolves to do something very similar, move around the map, cause a lot of problems, but they then turned into reactionary and then scared Dota.
Yeah.
Team Secret just controlled this entire map. Team Spirit.
No, they did. They
controlled this entire map.
They really just crushed it. Every single Chronosphere usage netted them a kill or 2, except for that one first one top on the Enigma. Every other one, when they had Macro Pyre on top of it, they would always find like the perfect fights.
Yep. And that's also going to be another one of those things. Now we go in, we're moving further and further through the lower bracket. It wasn't a one-trick pony. They bounced around like different drafts, different timings and pressures, so they're not very easy to read. And going into the next game up against either MVP or Thunder, Thunder was a little bit more, I don't want to say obvious with the way they played yesterday. It was very dominant from them. MVP, FNG knows them pretty well, so he's going to feel probably more confident against MVP than against almost any other team that's here, including Alliance. So I think the lower bracket round 3 matchup is probably going to be one of the coolest. The winner of that one taking the confidence into SG's matchup, even better.
Spirit, man, I'm telling you, they're gonna make it. It's like
Team Spirit may actually do it.
I'm telling you, it's like a high chance of them making it.
Yeah. I still want to see them pressured a little bit more, though. I don't think Elite Wolves or Infamous really force them into an uncomfortable area.
No, definitely not. I mean, this draft in particular, I was looking at it and I was like, this is literally the same draft that they picked twice in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
So this one was full comfort. They knew exactly what they wanted to do with their game plan, and they played like they knew what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And E-Wolves just got completely ripped apart. They could not respond.
Well, decent game because FNG is becoming a favorite with this crowd after his cast yesterday, and all you got to say is Viva Peru, and all of a sudden this crowd is just like all for you.
They love it, man.
Wow. All right. I don't know if we're actually ready to wrap up. I haven't actually got my signal just yet for what we're doing. Not yet?
Wait a moment.
Okay, fantastic. But yeah, so we still have more games coming up, so if you haven't tuned in for everything, I love you too on the screen. I don't think we had it on our screen, though.
What was it?
There's someone who has an I love you Toby sign.
What?
Yeah.
I don't have an I love
it's literally directly behind me.
Everyone just loves Toby. I'm just here in the wake, in the shadows.
Like, if you can see it, like it's... Hang on, if we can... Hang on. No, that's Long Live Alliance there.
I don't want to. It's going to depress me.
Aww.
Everybody's chanting Toby. I'm just sitting here
Are you still cut because I had that really cool, like the picture he made up yesterday where you don't have yours either?
Dude, he said he was going to make me that
The way you said it was just like, I don't have mine.
Well, because, so 2 years ago when I came here, Jota, the guy who made you that, like the artwork, he told me, he's like, hey, I'm a big fan of you, blah, blah, blah. I really wanted to see what hero's your favorite, and I want to make it for you. And I'm like, oh, Invoker, I'd love it. And he was like, oh, of course, I'll have it to you in like a month. Never heard from him again. He's just gone.
And then I rock up, and he's like backstage, he's like, hey, dude, I made this for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty sick. I'm gonna share it on my Twitter and Facebook. I haven't done it yet. I was actually trying to find his Facebook page so I can like send more people over there because he doesn't have a Twitter. He just has a Facebook. But
I'm on there.
You have him?
Yeah,
cool. Well, we'll tag him up and I'll share that at the end of this cast, which is only about a minute away. So we have more games coming up. Keep I'll keep on the stream for this one. There's no other Dota going on, so hey, why not? Enjoy it. MVP versus Thunder will be coming up next. Keep your eyes peeled for Thunder. They're a big home crowd star favorite. We still have our lower bracket round 1 matchup now, which will be Team Spirit going up against the winner of our next matchup, and then we will run the lower bracket the rest of the way. SG Esports in the best of 3 lower bracket matchup and the best of 5 grand final. It's all coming to you.